Welcome to today's workout. We're going to be starting in a position seated, either on the chair or we're going to be seated on the floor in easy pose, legs are crossed. I asked you to bring 2 towels today. You may or may not need them, but if you do, what you're going to do is you're going to use the towels to elevate the hips to make it easier for you to be in easy pose, easier on the hips. You're just starting your workout. Maybe it's harder when you haven't really warmed up to get into that position. So I know some of you are using maybe a stool or something that elevates you up. Rather than ask you to bring that or to arrange your workout around that today, I asked you just to bring 2 towels. So I have 1 towel on the ground that is just folded flat. I'm going to take my second towel and I'm going to roll it tight. Give me a little more height. I'm going to place that towel on top and I'm going to sit down in my easy pose. But just before I do that, I want you to know that if easy pose is a challenge for you, just go to a seated position on a chair and do the warm-up in a seated position. So if I am in seated position on a chair, I want you to make sure that you're sitting tall, that your sit bones are grounded, and that you're not rounding the back or hyperextending. So if you look at that from a side view, you don't want to be sitting in a rounded back or hyperextended back. But you want to be sitting on top of the sit bones, shoulders relaxed over the hips, and head pulling long, crown of the head going toward the sky, okay? So if you're starting on the chair, that's where you'll be. If you're using the mat and you're using the towels, and I'm going to use those for me today, you're just going to go into that position where you can let those hips roll forward. So I have a pretty easy time crossing my ankles and getting those knees forward. But if you don't, I have with me my little makeshift pillows. You could put something right here underneath the knees to give you that comfort. So in this easy pose, you want the legs to feel comfortable. You don't want there to be stress, because we're going to be doing some stretches in this position. Okay, so same thing seated on the chair. I'm on the sit bones, my shoulders are stacked over my hips, my spine is long, the crown of my head is pulling down. So if you don't need those, that's fine. I'm going to let someone in. Okay, good. Okay, so in that easy pose, again, one more thing, if that is hard on your feet, you can take and roll your mat up. Sometimes the tops of the feet, it's hard on the tops of the feet. Or you could place a towel underneath the tops of the feet. Good morning, Mary. Mary, we're starting out with easy pose. You can opt to sit in the chair. So you do not need to be in this position if it's not comfortable for you. You can be sitting in the chair. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to actually start with a very calming exercise of breathing into the nose, out through the nose. But we're going to do it 1 nostril at a time. So it's very simple. You take your ring finger and your index finger, and you're going to place your thumb on your right nostril. I want you to take a deep inhale, relax and hold with your left, or with your ring finger, you're going to press and close your left nostril, hold the breath. Then you're going to release the right with a thumb from the right nostril, and you're going to exhale. So we'll repeat that. I'm going to inhale through my right nostril, close it off, hold, and exhale through the left. Good. Inhale left, close it off, hold the breath, release right, exhale right. Inhale right. Close them off, hold, release left, exhale. So we're going to inhale to the left. Close and hold. Exhale to the right. Inhale. Close and hold. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close and hold. And exhale. Inhale. And hold. Exhale. As you do this, try to get a rhythm of breath that's somewhere between 4 count in and 6 count out. So inhaling 4, exhaling out 6. Again, inhale. You could choose a count that works better for you, but always the inhale is a little longer than the exhale, or a little shorter rather. So the exhale is going to be longer. Let's just try one more each side. And let that go. If you've never done that before, try practicing it at home. It is a great way to open up the sinuses, to create that energy and that warmth inside the body, and to focus on just being relaxed. And it's a very relaxing pose. So from here, we're just going to go right into a side stretch. We're going to reach up toward the ceiling, and rather than leaning to the side, I want you to reach that arm straight up like you're reaching the fingertips toward the ceiling, lengthening the side body. Good. Release that and lengthen up. Reach it up. Now for me, on this left side, my left shoulder, it's usually tight. So what I really have to focus on is relaxing my shoulder. It's really my scapula area gets very tight on that side. So I don't really feel the stretch. The first thing I feel is the tightness behind that scapula. So relax that shoulder. Good. Let's repeat it. Other side again. Reaching up. Letting that head drop to your opposite shoulder, reaching the head toward the ceiling. Relax the shoulder that is of the hand that's on the floor. Good. And other side. And reach it up. Relaxing. Open the shoulders. Spread the scapula wide. Open the collarbone. So don't collapse the shoulders inward. Broaden them wide. Let's try one more each side. Reaching up. Lengthening. Lifting. From here, let's just hold that. See if you can reach both arms, bringing the biceps towards the ears. Good. And bring that back down. Other side. Reaching up. Nice. Reach toward the ceiling first. Good. Bring both arms up. Now bring the biceps towards the ears, holding that position. Nice. And bring it back down. We're going to go right into a twist. So I want you to rotate so that you are bringing one hand behind you and your opposite hand towards your knee. And you're just going to look either forward, to the side, or to your back shoulder, whatever is most comfortable for you. Now we're going to take our back arm, if you can, and you can slide it around. So all I've done is I'm taking this arm, bring it behind me, behind my waistline, and try to reach my fingertips forward. If that's not comfortable for you, keep your hand back behind you, whichever works for you. We'll just take a few breaths in this position, drawing the shoulders down, looking over the shoulder, looking to the side, or looking forward, whichever works best for your neck. Take a deep inhale and slow exhale. Getting longer with each exhale. Inhale and then exhale. On this last exhale, I want you to focus on opening the chest. So inhale, exhale, broaden the collarbone. Relax the shoulders. Good. Bringing that back around nice and slow. We're going to take opposite hand behind you. Bringing your hand to your knee. Shoulders relax down. Again, you're going to look over past your shoulder to the side or front. If you want to add in a little bit more to that twist, you're going to take this hand, bring it behind you, bringing your fingertips forward towards your waistline, towards your hip. And then just where you're most comfortable with that neck, whether you're looking forward, to the side, or back over your shoulder. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Inhale for me. And then exhale, relax the shoulder. Deep inhale. Exhale, open the collarbone. And inhale. Let go, lengthen through the spine. Good. Relax that and bring that forward. Now we're going to go right into just a forward fold. If I'm seated on the chair, okay, all these things can be done seated on the chair. I'm just going to make sure that my legs or my arms are resting on my thighs. Okay, so here we're going to rest our hands on the floor. Rest your forearms, if you're on the chair, on your top of your legs. So we're just going to come out and go into this forward fold. So if I was on the chair, I'd go about this far. I can go out further in a seated position. You're going to go out as far as you're comfortable. And we're just going to hold that stretch. It's a nice way to open the hips, allow the hips to relax down, releasing the hips, broadening the sit bones. Good. Take 1 deep breath for me. And exhale, relax into the stretch. Let's walk the hands back up. For those of you who are seated in your easy pose, you're just going to switch your feet. If you're seated in the chair, you don't need to make any change at all. We're going to try that one more time. Walking forward, you're going to feel a different stretch in those hips. You can relax the forearms on the floor. You could have the hands out as far as you feel comfortable. You do not need to place your head on the floor. Go as far as you're comfortable in this position. Just give me a nice deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Bringing the hands back up. Okay, we're going to take this right into goalpost arms. We're just going to hold those arms out. I call it goalpost. It looks like a goalpost on the football field. Elbows are out to the side. My palms are wide. I'm going to bring the hands in and then open. Bring the hands in and open. As I do, I want you to get tall in the spine. I don't want you to lose your posture. So we're not going to flex or extend in that spine. So we're just opening those shoulders up, bringing it in and then out. Bringing it in and then out. Good. Give me 3. Good. And 2. Nice job. And 1. Bring it out open. Slide it halfway up. Slide it down. Just getting those arms, those shoulders to open up. If you're having any shoulder issues today, you could do this with 1 arm. So I know one of you out there has got some shoulder issues, but just focus on just the one side. Good. Give me last 1 and release it. Roll those shoulders out. Nice job. So you've been in your easy pose for a few minutes now. This is a nice way to practice this easy pose, doing some stretches along with it. We're going to come out of our easy pose and we're going to go to a lying position on the mat. So you can take your towels off to the side. And we're going to start in a very simple position of supine on your back. Knees are bent. And what I want you to focus on here now is we're going to do cat-cow, but in a supine position, meaning lying on your back. And all I want you to do is focus on the pelvis. So shoulders are relaxed, head is relaxed. We're going to exhale, push the lumbar or your low back to the ground. We're going to inhale and arch the back. So exhale to flatten, inhale to curl. Exhale and then inhale. And what I want you to think about, this is really abdominal and back work. Because we're laying on the ground, there's very little load, but we're really working on what we call pelvic mobility. This idea, can I move my pelvis forward and then back without utilizing my feet or my buttocks? So don't squeeze the penny. Don't press into the feet. Allow your body just to relax. And exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. So in cat-cow, we're always inhaling in that arch position where we're rounding the back. We're exhaling where we're rounding into cat. So as I inhale into this position, it's controlling and supporting my spine. Let your body relax.
And let's go ahead and find neutral. So neutral is somewhere between those two positions. We don't want to be in a flat back position, that's a flexion of the spine. And we don't want to be in a very arched position where the ribs come off the ground. We want to be in a position where the rib cage is on the ground, but I have a very small curvature at my lumbar. My rib cage and my hip bone are aligned, and I have tension above and below. So from here, we're just going to go right into a single leg in tabletop. And we're going to extend that leg out. And we're going to bring our opposite arm overhead. And my opposite arm, my thumb is turned down toward the floor. My palm is turned towards me. My foot is flexed. So we're extending. What I want you to think about in this position, don't lose your alignment of your core. So the rib cage is in line with the hip. My rib is down. I have that subtle curvature in my lumbar. And I want to think about rib to hip connection, tension above and below. Good. From here, we're going to bring the knee and the hand together and then extend. Knee and the hand. This is bird dog lying in my back. Pretty interesting approach. Nice way to really focus on staying connected to the core. Easier on the shoulders. For those of you who have shoulder issues, is a great way to work on this without having to stress the shoulder out. Good. If you're having problems with your shoulder, extending the arm overhead, just modify it to where it works for you. Nice job. Now hold that out, and we're going to go straight leg, hand comes to toe and back down. Now my hand won't reach my toe, but we're going to reach and then lower, and reach and lower. Good. Reach and lower. Good. Keep it going. Reach it up and reach. Again, I could do this without the arm moving. The goal is to maintain neutral position. We want that neutral posture. Last one, and extend it out. Good. Bring that hand down. We're going to keep that leg out. We're going to bring the leg up. Take the hand behind the knee just to relax your hip fold. Let the knee soften a little bit. Maintain your neutral alignment. So tailbone down, right? I've got my small curvature in my back. Rib cage is knit down again. I have tension above and below. And we're just going to circle out the ankle. Just circle it out. Just releasing that foot. Nice. Maintaining neutral posture. So working on this neutral posture through easy positions. Let's reverse that circle. You may start to feel a little heat in that lower leg. Don't worry. As soon as you stop circling your ankle, that heat, that cramping, it'll stop. But we need this. We need to have mobility in the ankles. Good. Let that relax. Now from here, we're going to bend the knee a little bit more. Hands down along your side. What I want you to do is just circle the leg. So this is a Pilates fundamental exercise. This is leg circle. We've done this in class. We've done this in the Pilates studio. Single leg in a strap. And we're working to learn to circle from the hip and not the foot. So I'm just circling out and in. And it's small. We're going to reverse that, bringing it in and back to center. Good. Your opposite leg, your foot is on the floor. You want to be connected in that inner thigh. You want tension above and below the navel, and you'll feel tension to the sides. Now, bring that to center. That's the start position. See if you can extend that leg a little longer. Let's point the foot so we have a little bit more direction of where the leg is going. It's lengthening out of the hip socket. So lengthen that leg out of the hip socket, but keep those hips grounded to the floor. And again, small circle. Small circle. I'm not going to go too far because I don't want to overextend my hip flexor. Okay? Good. But we're controlling the movement. It's small. It's like I'm making a small circle on the ceiling, the size of a small saucer. Reverse that like a teacup saucer. Good. Nice. Small circle. Feeling that control in my core. Tension above and below the navel and to the sides. Nice. Bring the knee in, extend it out. Bring it in, extend it out. Go back to a flexed foot here. Extend it out. extend it out just to release that hip flexor. Give me one more. And extend out, hold. Let's go back to our bird dog, extending that arm. As I do, I'm going through leg and arm extension. I'm controlled through the core. Let that release. Let's go same thing, other leg. Extend that leg out, flex the foot. Opposite arm is overhead. My thumb is towards the floor. My palm is facing towards me. Good, I'm lengthening out. We're gonna bend the knee, hand comes to the knee and extend. Good. So again, if you have shoulder issues, just do the leg motion of this. Don't worry that you don't have that ability to extend and move that arm overhead. That's okay. Work within your capabilities. Modify the exercises to work for you. Extend, bring it in. Extend and bring it in. Nice. So it's a long lever with the arm. Bend the knee as we come in. Good. And now extend it out, hold. We're gonna go into that straight leg, lift and then lower. Lift and then lower. Good. We're not reaching the fingertip toward the toe. We don't have that kind of range. Good. And lift and then lower. Lift and lower. Reaching towards the toe. Reach it up. And reach. Reach it up. Last two. And last one. Good. Bring it on back down. Release that hand down. Bring that foot up. And we're now going to just take and we're going to circle out that ankle. Just circle it out. Circle out that ankle. So we have the leg straight up in the air. Circle that ankle. And again, you want to feel something in that lower leg. Good. You could try 20 one direction, 20 the other. We won't do that today. Now reverse it. This is a great way to warm up the ankles and to maintain good ankle stability. I want mobility here. I don't want to be stiff in the ankles. If I want to not turn my ankle, I need to do some work to this lower leg. And a simple leg or ankle circle is a great exercise. Nice. Bring that on into bent knee position. And from here, we're just going to circle the hip. So that bent leg circling the hip. Good. So on those ankle circles, you could do it with a bent knee or a straight leg, whichever works for you. Now on this leg circle, what am I going to do with my foot planted on the ground? I'm going to really make sure big toe, baby toe are connected. I connect to my inner thigh on that leg, reverse your circle, so that I can control the pelvis, make sure my hips don't swing right to left, but I feel tension above and below the belly button and to the sides. Nice. Good. Give me the last two. Now we're going to go to that straight leg position. Leg doesn't need to be perfectly straight. Let's point the toe. You can lengthen the leg out of the hip socket, but ground those hips down. Leg circle. Straight leg. Good. Palms flat into the floor. Press the palms down. Circling on that ceiling. Small circle. Small circle. Good. And then reverse it. Reverse that, coming around into the center. Nice job. Ground the big toe. Make sure your anchored foot is connected to the ground. Last two. And we're going to bring that leg in and then out, just to release the hip. Foot is flexed now, extending it out, bringing it back in. Extend out, bring it back in. Extend out, bring it back in. Extend out. Last one. Extend out and bring it back in. From here, we're going to go right into some core work. I'm about halfway down my mat. I want you to notice how much space I have on this mat. So I can reach above me, grab the edge of the mat, and pull myself up. So this is what I want you to do. I'm trying to give you a way of supporting that head up. We're going to take it right here to legs and tabletop. Find your neutral. So make sure your tailbone is down. Rib cage should be drawing in. And from here, we're just going to go to a single leg extension. Single leg extension. Okay, so head is up. I'm using the mat to support the back of my head. Notice I have a big space. So if this feels uncomfortable, possibly move down further on your mat so you have more of the mat to help support your head. Good. Let's bring that on in. Bring one foot to the ground. You're going to extend that leg, and we're going to rotate our opposite knee to our opposite elbow. So I'm just going through a bit of a rotation here. Keep that foot in flexion on your moving foot. So as I rotate, I'm not touching my knee to my elbow. I'm just drawing my elbow towards my knee. That's it. I really don't ever come close. Give me one more. And bring that leg down. Let's try the same thing, other leg. So I'm going to extend and then rotate. Extend, rotate. Extend, rotate. Keeping that pelvis neutral. Don't flatten the back. Make sure that the tailbone stays anchored. Ribs are drawing down, pulling towards that leg. You need just two more. Nice job. Good. Bring it in, let it relax. So from here, we're going to go back up again. Legs straight up toward the ceiling, okay? And we're going to hold this and just lower one leg at a time. We have been working on double leg stretch, single leg stretch, really for months now. I've given you many options. Last week, we had the hips elevated with the block. Today, we're using the mat. There's a lot of ways to approach these exercises that will work for you. So you can do these without the head elevated. I think you get a little bit more work in your core. Give me one more each leg. Come back to tabletop. We're ready now for alternating leg twists. So we're going to go right to left, right to left. Woo, your core, your abs should be feeling it. Give me 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And release that down. Oh, we're going to come on up when you're ready, and we're going to shift it to a standing exercise with the chair. So I asked you to bring a strap or a belt, whichever works for you. I'm going to demonstrate on the chair and on the floor. So some of you are strong enough to be on all fours, okay, hands and knees. Some of you don't like to be on your knees, that's okay. I have someone today who really is going to need to do these sitting, and you're going to have the strap in this position. Just mimic what you can of what we're doing with just arm movement, because I don't know if you want to be loading that shoulder. So I think you know who you are. So I'm going to start out in cat-cat. So I'm going to start with the chair. I'm using the strap around my wrist, and I'm pushing out wide. Big, or my thumb, my pinky pressing wide, pulling apart. My goal is to pull the strap apart in this position. Just going into cat-cow. We already did it on the ground. We're going to go cat and cow. So we did this line, and I just again want you to put the focus on the pelvis. So just tucking under and then pushing back. Tucking under and pushing back. Good. Tucking under and pushing back. So it's just this rounding, exhale, and then inhale. So if I'm on all fours, it's just right here. And what I want you to do with the strap, your biceps should be turned towards each other, and you're pushing out into the strap to really activate those shoulders as a good support system. Good. Give me just one more, whether you're standing or on all fours. From here, we're going to go right into our bird dog. We're just going to extend one leg. So I want you to hold that position, extend the leg. I'm going to shift back to the chair. So those of you on all fours, you know where to be. So if I'm on all fours on the chair, I'm going to make sure my knee is soft. I'm going to extend that leg out. If you're seated right now, extend your arms out in front of you. Just extend the leg and extend the leg out in front of you on the chair. Good. Here's our bird dog. We're not going to add in arms. Obviously, they're tied up right now. We're going to draw the knee in and push out. As we draw the knee in, we're going to round the back And try to bring the nose to your knee and then push back. We do not need to touch the nose to our knee, okay? We're just going, drawing in and then out. If I'm standing, do not hyperextend your knee. Make sure the knee and the hip are soft. Give me one more. Drawing in. Now extend out and hold. Here's the advantage, I think, of using the chair. Sit back in the hip. You get a little bit more loading in that hip because you're standing. Gives you a chance to work on a partial warrior pose. If you're kneeling, focus on sitting and sinking back into your hip as well. You'll feel more workload in that hip. Good. Bring it on down. Now we're going to go same thing, other side. We're going to go ahead into our bird dog position. Push those biceps towards each other. Make sure that strap is tight. Again, I'm going to shift now just to the floor. And I'm going to perform that same thing on the floor on all fours. Drawing in and then out. So just stay with, whether you're on the floor, all fours, you're staying there, or you're on a chair. So drawing in, pressing out. Here's our exhale. Here's the inhale. Exhale, inhale. Good. Exhale, inhale. Same thing as cat. I'm exhaling as I go into cat. I'm inhaling into extension. Give me 3, 2, and 1. Extend that leg out. Hold. There we're back at our position where we're sitting in our bird dog. Sink back into that hip. So even when I'm kneeling, I can sit back into that hip and load that hip a little bit more. The more forward I come, I feel it on my knee. I want to feel it back in that hip. Good. Come on in to a bent knee position. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this on the floor for those kneeling. You're going to tuck your toes under. You're going to come up into a deep hip hinge. This is a great way to work on down dog. Make sure your strap is tight. If you're on the chair, you're doing the same thing. I'll demonstrate in a moment. Then you're going to push yourself into your down dog as far as you feel like you can straighten those legs, and you're going to come to plank. So you're going to repeat that. I'm going to use the chair now. So if I'm on the chair, I'm going to sit back into my hips. Okay. And then from here, I'm going to go into my down dog. Then I'm going to come into plank. Okay, so I'm going to stay on the chair. You're going to sit back into the hips. Lower it down. Drop those hips long in the spine. Then you're going to straighten the legs out. Great way to lengthen the hamstrings. Then you're coming forward over the palm of the hands. Again, bending the knees. Here's your deep hip hinge. Good. Straighten those legs out. Nice job coming back to plank. So let me just demonstrate from the floor. I'm going to come up, sit back. So I'm now up on the feet. Okay. I'm going to push those heels back, coming to my plank. Sinking back. One more, everybody, whether you're on the floor or using the chair. Down dog, lift those hips, and then come forward. Good. Come back to a kneeling position. If you're kneeling, come back to full stand position. Hit feet underneath your hips, hands on the chair or hands on the floor. Very simply, we're going to drop down and push up. So I'm going to start working my triceps. My hips are going to move with me whether I'm standing or kneeling. I'm going to lower the elbows down, come back up. If I'm doing that on the chair, it looks like this. So notice how I have soft knees, soft hips standing. I'm just bending, bringing the elbows to a parallel position to the floor, and then pressing back up. The entire time I am focused on making sure that strap is taut. I'm not going to let the tension leave that strap. Good. Give me 4. This is kind of mimicking our push-up on the wall. Okay? So we've been working on this. Please practice these things at home. You'll get stronger. Good. Come on up. Now we're going to go back into that deep hip hinge. Okay? If you're kneeling, you're not going to lift the toes. You're just going to go to deep hinge, and you're going to come forward and then push out. So notice it's a rocking motion. When I come forward, I'm coming forward with a bent elbow. I'm going to keep tension in the strap. It's like I'm rocking back and forth. It's a very modified push-up. So I'm going to come forward and then press back. What's it look like on the ground? I'm coming back and then forward. Back and then forward. Good. Gotta give myself a little space. Hit the chair. Nice. So I'm just sinking back. So I'm staying on all fours here. And I'm coming forward. Good. Give me everybody 3, 2, and then 1.